Welcome back, my luxurious fleet, and guess who's number one again on the JD Power most dependable automotive brand? Let's get into it. I'll see you on the other side. Hit that like button. Let's go. Over at cnet.com, it's a tech website. If you're not familiar with it, I've been following them since I was a kid when they review TVs and phones and stuff. But they also have a really good car overview and news channel integrated with them, and it's called Roadshow. They also have a good presence on YouTube as well, their Roadshow stuff. So let's just get into this article. By the way, I am not sponsoring CNET at all, but they are a big help in a lot of ways. Lexus, Porsche, and Toyota top JD Power 2019 dependability study. And guess what? Lexus is the reigning champ 8 years in a row. That's pretty awesome. And look, you have a dinosaur. There's the GX 460 there, sitting on top of its perch as the king of the automotive jungle, at least in terms of dependability, right? JD Power polled nearly 33,000 owners of 2016 model year vehicles about their 3-year ownership experience, and some very familiar names have ended up atop of the resulting ranks. Lexus, again, is the highest ranked automaker, with owners experiencing an average of 106 problems per 100 vehicles, and that's in 3 years. This is the 8th year in a row that Lexus is top the VDS. Porsche and Toyota are hot on its heels though, and I'll talk more about that later, with 108 problems per 100 vehicles. Chevy and Buick bring a little bit of American flavor in the top 5 too, which is good to see. But you know what? It's always funny that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want to support America. And I'm, Ford, Chevy, Ram, America. But Toyota employs more American workers than the big three combined. So there's some food for thought. Okay, overall the VDS found industry average 136 problems per 100 vehicles, an improvement of 6 over the last year. Hopefully that's a step in the right direction, right? It could be a fluke, who knows? And it's improvement overall, a slower one. This year marked the first time the mass market automakers outperformed their luxury counterparts. I'm not so sure about that, at least with Lexus, with a score of 135 versus 141. Furthermore, every German brand found itself above the industry average for the first time in the study's 30-year history. Fluke? We'll see. If it happens year after year, there could be something to it. And then how much trust do you put into these things in the first place, right? Like, it's really hard to take this thing seriously in some ways, even though, my beloved Lexus, and no, you guys, Lexus isn't paying me to say any of this, but everyone knows Lexus and Toyota are the most dependable automaking brands, and that's really hard to argue that. But let's keep with the article here, and then we're just going to dig into this, the chart here, which is the biggest thing. We're going to spend a lot of time here. So Lexus is number one again. Remember, 8 years in a row. Porsche's been getting seemingly better every year. And the 911 is apparently the most dependable vehicle with the least amount of problems. So that's pretty impressive. But one thing to consider, and this is one of my coworkers, we were talking about this today. He's like, most Porsches are garaged. Well, so are Lexus, right? But most Porsches are garaged and kept in that garage unless it's like a perfect day out. So if you own a 911, you're not going to be doing it as your daily. I mean, there's some of you out there that do that, but you got to be honest. Most Porsche owners, at least if you're a 911 owner, you're not going to be driving that car all the time, every day in every weather condition. That leaves, okay, so that's just 911 drivers, but you also, I'm not going to be able to pull up the ratio of sales for Porsche. Actually, I probably could. I'm going to do that. A lot of them are 911s. You also have the Cayennes, the Macan. So those are cars you're going to be able to drive daily, as well as a Panamera. So you have 3 models that you could daily drive. 911 you're not going to want to daily drive unless you live like somewhere super nice like California or Florida. You look at like Lexus, for example, and Lexus all their cars are pretty much daily drivers. Maybe not the LC, but the RC can be a daily driver. You know, these vehicles don't cost nearly as much, so for the owners, they're going to be driving them more. So you think that, you know, Porsche drivers are, in general, since half of them are probably not going to use their car as a daily driver, they're not going to have as many issues because their car isn't being, you know, driven as hard or as often. So that's something to consider. I know it's not the best argument, but you have to consider it. Of course, Toyota is up there as well. Chevy, of course, is up there. Well, I shouldn't say of course, but it's good to see them up there. Buick, of course, right? Chevy and Buick, same company. You would expect to see them hand in hand there, right? So it's also a wonder why that Cadillac way down here, it shouldn't be higher if Chevy and Buick are so high, right? It makes you wonder, like, what is the case? So Mini and BMW, right? Same company, they're right there with each other. That's hard to believe. I'll roll with that one for this year. If it continues every year, then they might be doing something really, really well. So, you know, maybe my video about the Supra being a joint venture with BMW and risking reliability isn't such a big deal after all, because BMW has really improved quite a bit in their dependability. But we'll see. Audi's still in the top 10, which is good. Hyundai, Kia, right? Same brand. They should be neck and neck. Infiniti, Volkswagen. So there's just a lot of them really close. So I'd say like Chevy to Nissan. I know that's a spread of quite a few points, but it's a very, very steady graph. Then you have a big jump when it goes to Chrysler. Ford not doing so hot. Honda. Now this is a big surprise, right? Honda, you would expect Honda to easily be in the top 10. I think they've fallen quite a bit from year to year, and it's hard to say what that is. I've heard of them having some issues with their forced induction engines, their turbo 4-cylinders, but we'll see. We'll see, right? In 2016, were any turbo 4s out for Honda anyways? So we'll see, right? Because these are even though this says 2019, remember these cars are from 2016. Over 3 years of ownership. So Mazda, that one's kind of surprising. I'm a big Mazda fan. I know I don't talk about it much on my channel, but I had a 91 Miata for a long time, and that car always treated me well. So, but Volvo, again, near the bottom. Land Rover, no surprise there. Those things are falling apart out of the factory. Fiat, also no surprise there. They make some beautiful vehicles, and I can't wait to test drive like a Quadrifoglio, Giulia, or Stelvio. That would be so awesome. And I'd love to review that on my channel, but I don't think I would ever own a Fiat, even though I like that 4C Spider. That sums up the list. Chrysler, in fact, is the most improved brand this year, shedding 65 problems per 100 vehicles over last year. Mini and Subaru also saw double-digit improvements. J.D. Power also breaks it down by individual vehicle segments. Overall, the 911 is a high-strength model in the entire study, which again, remember, 911s are not being driven that much. So, and they're being babied. Well, some of them are. Anyways, I know a lot of people will push them because they're performance vehicles. This is the first time J.D. Power has offered an overall winner. Interesting. Is there money under the table there? Right? I'm always going to be skeptical. Am I skeptical of Lexus being number one for 8 years in a row? I don't think so. I mean, I see their vehicles every day, and I know they're extraordinarily reliable, and I talk to owners every day, and a lot of them will never own anything other than a Lexus because it treats them so well. But anyway, so we're going to go through each car now. Overall, the 2016 Porsche 911 was the most dependable vehicle. We're just going to go through this quick. I know there's a lot of vehicles. Small car is going to be the Chevy Sonic, which it's hard to believe that would be more reliable than like a Toyota Yaris, for example, or I should say more dependable, right? We shouldn't be using reliable. Buicks are pretty reliable, dependable again. Mini Cooper, compact sporty car. That one's, and Mazda MX-5 was a runner-up. There's no way in hell that I would expect a Mini Cooper to be doing better than a Miata. The only thing The only reason why this would be the case is that in 2016, I believe the Miata came out with the ND model, which completely redesigned the car. So there might have been some issues the first year of that. It's the only way Mini could ever beat out the Miata in terms of compact sporty car. And also, I don't expect that to be able to beat out like this Subaru BRZ or the Toyota 86. Like, I don't know, something fishy going on there. Kia Soul, I don't know about that. Lexus ES, one of the most boring, yet it's just such a good car, even though I don't like the older ES. The new ES is amazing. The old ES, it's so boring, but it does everything really well. It's like a love-hate relationship, and I could see this being compact. How is this a compact car? How is the ES a compact car? That is crazy, right? What? Compact premium? How is the ES a compact premium car, and its smaller cousin a mid-size car? That's a head scratcher. Mid-size sporty car, Dodge Challenger. Okay. So Dodge Challengers are getting up there. Mid-size premium car. Okay. How is the 5 Series bigger than a Lexus ES? That's a head scratcher. I know the 5 Series. Buick LaCrosse, large car. I guess. I don't know. I would still pick an Avalon every time over a Buick LaCrosse. Tiguan, which is no longer going to be a small SUV. Have you seen the new one or been in the new one? They're huge. 3-row SUVs. Small premium SUV, Audi Q3. Now this one's going to change radically in the coming years. It's hard to see that the Nissan Frontier is more reliable than like a Toyota Tacoma, but it's possible. Well, and the Tacoma wasn't even an honorable mention, which is really skeptical. Toyota Highlander coming up behind the Hyundai Santa Fe. Yeah, that's a possibility. Mid-size premium SUV. There you go. Lexus GX. RX and GLE class received honorable mentions. Okay. It's funny that they put the RX and GX in the same category when they're just completely different vehicles. Minivan. Okay. Toyota Sienna was the sole runner-up. They don't even make the Chrysler Town and Country anymore. So Ford Expedition over Tahoe. Tahoe and Suburban are the same car. Suburban's just longer, but I would definitely rather drive a Tahoe over an Expedition. Okay, light duty pickup truck, Toyota Tundra. Yes, I'd probably agree with that. Even though the Chevys do, I mean, the Chevy V8s are really good motors. Large pickup truck. There you go, Chevy heavy duty. But that's it. I know I skipped a few of those models because they're kind of boring. And this video, which I wanted to be about 5 minutes long, has turned into like a 15, 16-minute video. I want to see you guys in the comments below on which vehicles or which brands you think got the shaft, or which brands are being over dependabilized, made more dependable than you think they actually are, because there's a lot of questionable things in here, at least based off of stereotypes and what society thinks of these brands in general. But I'll see you in the next video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't for more future videos about Lexus vehicles, but also I'll be hitting on a lot more luxury vehicles in the future. Expect my very first Genesis review coming very soon over the weekend. But until next time.